Hello everyone, it's Brian. Today I'm going to do an update on the Arts and Crafts Record Club and also add a little bit about Montreal. So let's start with the Record Club. This will be installment number 2 of 3 because I have a 6-month membership given to me by Cecile. I will put a link below to the first video I made when I got package number 1, but let me just say a bit about Arts and Crafts in case you don't want to watch the first video. It's a record company that was formed about 20 years ago, founded by Kevin Drew from Broken Social Scene, which is a band you might know if you're Canadian or interested in indie rock. It has a very large cast of musicians who have played for the band or come through. At some points they have as many as 19 members. And let me just give you a sense of who's in the band. So Kevin Drew, the founder, he's also released solo records. Brendan Canning has also released solo records. Andrew Whiteman, who is in a band called Apostle of Hustle. Then we have Amy Milan, who is in Stars as well as Broken Social Scene. Then we have Emily Haynes, who's contributed vocals to the group. She's, of course, known for being a founding member of Metric and her solo project, Emily Haynes and Soft Skeleton. And then we have Feist, who's probably the most famous, perhaps the most famous person who have been associated with the band. So that's sort of an outline of the record label and Broken Social Scene, who is a founding force behind this record label. And I'm not sure when the club started, but you have 2 modes of membership. The first is you pay $25 plus tax per month for a 6-month membership, and you will receive 3 packages with 2 records each, so 6 records. And if you opt for the year, you pay $21 a month plus tax. You'll get 6 packages with 2 records each, equaling 12 records. That's the way it works. I was given a gift of 6 months, which I think is really cool. And the way it works is every month you're given an email message which says what's going to be the record. So there's a fretlist title and then a classic title, a backlist title in other words, and you can swap them out for a number of other records that are available to you. Not for everything in their catalog. You also get 25% off their product purchases from their online store, which I haven't used. But this month, the classic title was Broken Social Scene's Hug of Thunder, which I own already. So obviously I passed on that, but when I was looking through what records I could swap it for, I decided to go for Broken Social Scene's Let's Try the After, which is a compilation of 2 EPs they released in 2019. So there's 10 tracks here, 5 from each EP. And this one was put out in 2019 as well, so it has the 10 tracks from the EP, and it does list all the musicians here and additional players, which is quite a long list. So Broken Social Scene, yeah, I mean, indie rock collective. Some people say baroque pop. I'm not really sure that's right. In listening to this, I would say that I have the same reaction I have oftentimes when I hear a new record from a band, and I will think, oh, that's not bad, but it's not near as good as the previous things the band released. And that's how I felt. But when I really listen to it again, it's clear that it does sound like Broken Social Scene. It's clear to me that on repeated listens, I will actually quite enjoy this record, even if at first pass it didn't seem as good as the earlier stuff, but I think that's just because I know that music better. And in any case, it comes in this terrible paper sleeve and has a download code. So I would say all in all a pretty good outing. I hadn't heard the EPs though. That's the one thing. They came out and I didn't hear them. I think one was released on vinyl. The other one might have been digital only, but I hadn't heard them. So I would say this is not bad. If you like Broken Social Scene, you'll know what to expect, and you probably know that you'll like it. So the fretlist title that was offered this month, I'm gonna have to refer to the notes because I'm never gonna remember what it was. It was Andy Schaaf. There's a record called Norm. I think that's the name of the record. The blurb that came with it talked about his previous 2 records and the style that he had, like that it's written with lots of characters in a style of short fiction. Yeah, it says it's kind of written in a really fulsome manner of colorful characters, fine details, and rich emotional depth. But this particular record is a bit different. So he's taken a different tack and stuff. But I don't know anything about this artist. Never heard any music from this artist. And I was going to take it, but then I thought, well, I decided to swap it out because I was looking through what you could swap it for. And this record was there, which is from Sarah Harmer. It's called You Were Here. She's a pop, folk rock kind of singer, used to be in a Toronto band called the Saddle Tramps, and was also in a band called Weeping Tile. Some of the tracks on here were songs from those 2 previous bands that have been, as I understand it, re-recorded. And there's the back of it. I think the most notable track here is probably Basement Apartment. I think that was a very popular song for her. This is her debut, her label debut, major label debut, but there is some sort of cassette floating around from the previous year. This is the year 2000. The vinyl was released in 2019. So I've heard this record many times on CD. I decided to get it because it's actually something I do like, and it's someone who Cecile really likes, so I thought I would get it since the gift came from her. Here's the inner sleeve. Here we go. And the record itself is black labels and whatever funny color that is. So yeah, pretty good record. And she's released many records after that. I think 3, 4, 5, I'm not really sure. So that's it for the record club. I have one more package coming, and I don't know what's going to be in it or what the suggestions are yet, but I'll make a video for that. Just want to add a brief note to this video in that we're recently in Montreal. And last time I was there, I went to 6, possibly 7 record stores as I was moving around the city, but I was at a conference and I was walking past them all the time, so I thought that was fun. This time, because of where we were and what we were doing, I only managed to go to the store that was closest to where we were staying, and that's a store called Cheap Thrills. Nothing really jumped out at me, but I was flipping through the bins and I saw a copy of Spiritualized Sweetheart Sweet Light for around $23 or $24, and I thought, that seems like a really good deal to me. This, of course, is the band that was formed by Jay Spaceman, formerly of Spaceman 3, and a band I also really like. So 2 pieces of vinyl, and this is on white vinyl. White vinyl, there we go. So I decided to pick this up because the price was incredible. I don't really like the idea of replicating things I have on CD. I do remember when I packed up my records years ago when CDs became a thing, and I remember thinking, why am I buying things on CD that I have on vinyl? And now it's like the opposite, which is kind of funny to think about. But yeah, this is good. It got good reviews. I really think it's great. So that's it, really. The club in Montreal. So I will do another video when the 3rd package from Arts and Crafts comes in. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you next time.